what's up YouTube? In this video I'll be showing you how to make this awesome modern house. Here the house is from all of the different angles that you might want to take a look at it from. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. If you do, please do remember to hit that like button, and that's pretty much all I have to say. I'd really appreciate it if you would do that for me, guys. I really would. But without any further ado, why don't I actually show you how to make this thing. So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some pillared quartz blocks, some block of quartz, quartz stairs, quartz slabs, oak wood planks, oak wood slab, grey concrete, blue stained glass block, and some blue stained glass pane. We also need some oak wood fence, lime concrete, sea lanterns, wooden trapdoors, grass blocks, poppies or any flower, some flower pots, water, and some torches. Grab every single one of those materials, and we do need a lot of pretty much all of them. Well, once you have them and once you've figured out where you want to make it, this house will fit into this area that I have noted down on the floor. So if you like, you can make a 30 by 21 block area on the floor in your world, and then you'll be able to build in the same parameters as I am. I'm going to begin the build on the very back left hand corner of this area, and I'm going to start off with a row of 5 block of quartz coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to do two things. I'm going to take the first block of quartz and I'm going to extend it across the back of the build by 23. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. But I'm also going to take that first block and I'm going to extend it towards the front of the build by 20. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I want to take that 20th block and I want to do two things. First of all, I want to raise it by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I also want to take that 20th block, I want to drag it across the front of the build by 17. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I then want to take this 17th block and I want to do 4 upper left diagonals from it. So starting from this block, if it's from this block, we can place one here. That's 1 diagonal, 2, 3, 4, like that. We can then connect the third diagonal all the way over to the left, like this. We can even move through the block that it connected to, and we can connect it all the way back to where we first started. But what we can also do is we can connect it to where we branched off at the beginning, and we can take this row of 23 and we can do 4 upper right diagonals from it. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, moving back to where we first started, and we can connect all of these rows together like this. You guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, I'm sure. So once you got that sorted out, we can better establish some of the house's dimensions and what have you. So if we start on the front of the house with where we have this row of 17, well, what you want to do is you want to take that 17th block and you want to extend it towards the center of the house by 2 with the quartz stairs. You want to do 1, 2. Place a block of quartz next to the stair and go up on top of that quartz by 3. 1, 2, and 3, like this. We want to do a couple of things. Once again, we want to take this third block and we want to extend it to the left, going inwards by 4. Actually, what we want to do is we want to place a grey concrete behind it, better yet, a grey concrete, and then we want to extend it to the left by 4. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Go up on top of that grey concrete by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Extend that 9th block backwards towards the back of the build by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And extend that block down until it is as low as the block that you can see over there. And we will continue that. Actually, we can even do it now. If we take the very first grey concrete block that we placed, which is this one, of course, you guys know it's attached to the quartz, we extend this to the right of the build by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can extend it towards the back of the build. And you can even connect it to that block that we extended all the way down. So you can have this sort of shape like this. And something that we can do, actually we'll wait until later to do what we were going to do next. So we're going to establish more of the house. Basically, we want to start off, you know, this big row of 9 grey concrete that we have. Well, if we start from the very bottom, or if we start from the very top block, this row of 9, and we extend it to the left by 3, 1, 2, 3, across to the side of the building. And then we extend that block all the way down to the ground, or better yet, even down even with the other grey concrete. Well, what you want to do is you want to extend this grey concrete to the left by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. You then want to extend that 6th concrete block towards the back of the build by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then you want to extend it inwards again by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Then you can extend that 6th block upwards and you can connect it to the back of the build, and you can also connect it forward. So you can see how this is all kind of getting linked together in a way. You can see how this is going. And what we're now going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we are going to take this area that we have now made on the left-hand side of our build, and we are going to take the corner blocks, which are this one and that one on the back, and we're going to raise them up by 6 with the grey concrete. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the corner as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, so you can see they're nice and even now, right? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to connect those top blocks together using oak wood planks. We're going to connect them together using oak wood planks, and we're going to extend that oak wood to connect to the center of the build. So we place our oak wood and they connect to the center of the build. We then want to divide this area by placing 2 rows of blue stained glass pane underneath the oak wood. So place 2 rows of blue stained glass underneath the oak wood. If you want, you can use solid blocks, but pane always creates that level of depth which it simply looks better. It really does. So we're just going to place the pane. Oh, there we go. And here. And then we're just going to place the oak wood planks underneath this. And once we have placed the oak wood planks, we will be connecting downwards, and we'll be connecting downwards using our blue glass again. So we're going to fill the rest of this area in with blue glass. As you guys can see, we just want to completely fill this in blue glass, and everything will be absolutely fine. So let's just place all of this here, and then we can move on to this next little bit. I'm accidentally placing some glass where I shouldn't be. Bad move, and we'll just end up with something that should look like that from the side. Now, next thing we're going to do is we are going to take the grey concrete that we have on the front and the back of the build, and we are going to extend it 1 row towards us in either direction. So towards the front, we want to extend it towards us like this, right? And on the back, we want to do the same thing. So we want to extend it coming out of the build by 1 row like this. So this will create, once again, it's that level of depth that I keep talking about, like that. What we also want to do, though, is we want to take the row of grey concrete that we have just to the right of us, that we kind of like made like on the left, and we want to place a layer of blue stained glass pane going all the way around the top of it. This will eventually be a balcony area for those of you guys that don't know, but that will be a balcony. We then, leaving a gap of 1 in the air, want to place a row of oak wood planks that sits in the same path, the same trajectory as the pane. So, same thing, 1 row above, using oak wood planks instead, we now have that. We want to then place a quartz slab layer going all the way around the top of the oak wood planks, going all the way around like this. You guys can see what I'm up to. That will create a nice little bit of a trim going around it. And the top of that is designed to simply be open because it's like a garden sort of area. If you like, you can now seal up this little area. So what you can do is you can just kind of like connect together the grey concrete area. So if you want, you can either completely fill it in with grey concrete, or maybe glass might be better. But we're just going to seal up this particular side of the house. We're going to seal up the grey concrete. We're going to fill in between the lines with grey concrete, and that's going to create a very nice bold color. It really does. I mean, if you want, you can of course use glass if you wanted to, but I mean, it does create a nice bold pattern or a nice bold color area using the grey concrete. It's up to you though. What we're also going to do is we're going to fill in the floor. I'm going to be using a block of quartz of this. So the balcony, I'm going to fill in with block of quartz. But I'm also going to have the block of quartz, and I'm going to create an entire second floor using it. So it's not just going to be this area, it's going to be the entire second floor that I am going to be filling in with block of quartz, just because I think that it'll look quite nice. And it's better if we have floors so that it's better understood how things get connected together. So we've placed that row, and we're just going to, like I said, we're just going to follow it through to this particular side of the house, and we are going to just completely fill in the floor, which sits nicely in line with the grey concrete that we do have just underneath the windows. And I'm just going to focus on filling the inside of the house in first, because we do have a little bit to do on the outside before we do continue on. But let's just focus on connecting the concretes together using the quartz. And we might even have a little bit more grey concrete to add in a second, because we haven't finished filling in the grey concrete shape. I'm sure there will be some on the opposite side of the build that we have here. So you can see now that we filled that in with block of quartz. We filled the right hand side in block of quartz. We also have to, on the list of things to do, we have to add 2 trims to this particular side of the house. Where you have the oak wood planks, you want to place a trim of quartz slab that goes all the way around the oak wood / the grey concrete. So that is in 2 stages. You have the middle and you have the top that go from one side to the other. You guys know what I'm talking about with this. I'm sure you can see what I'm talking about. But what you also want to do is you want to, using your oak wood slabs, you want to place a layer of oak wood slabs at the top of this particular side of the house. You want to create a U shape using your oak wood slabs that sits 1 row or half row above the quartz slab and inside of it. So like that. And the purpose of this is very simply to create a pool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is we're just going to use this area for a pool later on. Like I'm going to leave the inside of this open. So I'm going to just fill in this top area, just like where the quartz, where the oak wood slabs are. And I might just add like a layer of quartz slabs here to create a roof pool, which is a kind of a cool concept. I like the idea of having a nice little pool on the roof that's easily accessible. And it really just adds a nice little feature to this house, because a lot of modern houses have water. Our source of water is going to be hidden up on the second floor like this. So maybe we'll access it like here. Maybe this is how we'll get down. We'll have a quartz stairs. We'll knock into it like this, and we can just have a little bit of glass on the left and on the right. And maybe we can even just have a little bit of a walkway to it. So maybe we can add a little bit of grey concrete here in these positions, so maybe just on the left and the right like this, and then we'll knock these out like this. We'll place block of quartz stair here, and we can even place a little bit of glass to kind of connect things together, create a little bit of a chamber. But what we could goodbye glass. But what we could also do is we could just add a row of ladders, which kind of comes down here like this if we wanted to, and then that would allow us to access the second floor, which subsequently leads us to the pool, which is kind of cool. I think that this area makes a nice pool. I think the roof pool is kind of a cool idea. It's kind of out of the blue. No one really expects the roof pool at all. I like that. I don't know, add it, don't, up to you. But the rest of what we've got to do, I'm just going to fill the roof in here using a blue stained glass block, because I think that it will look nice and it will create a bit of a light coming into the build. The back of the build, I'm going to use as much or as little glass pane as I need to just kind of like just create an entrance on the back of the build. So I'm just going to place some glass here, leaving a 2-block gap to allow us to get in, and I'll do a similar deal on the front also. So like this, just glass to get in, and you can see that the build is really shaping up quite a lot. You can see that a lot of it is formed now, a lot of it is actually metabolized. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to do the front of the house. Believe it or not, actually the front of the house is really like this side, like the right hand side. Let's get cracking. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a quartz slab trim going all the way around the top of the grey concrete side of this house. So it's just kind of going to travel all the way around this particular side of the house like this, and it's just going to travel along the upper half of the grey concrete area like this. But we're going to connect the corner blocks down using a mixture of block of quartz and quartz slab like this, and up like that, and then like here, here, like that. There we go. And now that'll allow us to make an entranceway, which is perfect because that's what we're after. So the entrance is going to be a little bit weird in that it's going to sit, so you know this row of block of quartz that we have right here connected to the stairs? It's going to sit one row inside the build like this. So if we just like create a wall like this, just create a bit of a wall like that. And if what we also do is we take the corner of the balcony and we connect this backwards using, we'll actually use glass. So we'll connect backwards using glass here. We'll place a row of glass here, and we'll connect the balcony as well on this side. And this should actually create an area in which if we place a block of quartz here and then connect upwards, we're mirroring what we have on the opposite side, guys, if you can see. Then this will create a way that we can actually like make an entrance. So if we dig into the ground and we connect the pillars together, and if we connect underneath the actual glass pane, like if we dig underneath these glass panes like this, and if we just place some quartz in here, we're creating some boundaries, and it also looks better. We're creating some boundaries here. And now if we find the center of this area, which should be this block, if we dig this out, we place a little bit of grey concrete in here, maybe knock out this block also, and we'll create a nice walkway, because that seems to be the center of this. So create a nice walkway. We'll place some block of quartz left and right of the grey concrete like this. Hopefully you guys are kind of keeping up with what's going on here. And we can even place a couple of pillars, maybe like left and right here. If we place a couple of pillars, that'll look kind of cool. We'll even place a little bit of blue stained glass pane connecting to those pillars also. I'm just making sure, actually, now that I'm doing the same thing that I did on the original. Yeah, that's looking quite good, actually. If we also want to create an additional level of I don't know how to phrase it, like of depth, of interest, if we want the entrance to look better, then this is going to be the entrance, which we can connect upwards using like pillar quartz blocks. We can have that look quite cool. But then left and right of this, we want to be able to access the grass that we have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the center pair of quartz blocks up like this, but I'm going to place grey concrete in between these like this to create a layer of depth. And I want to do the same on the opposite side as well. So I'm just going to place the grey concrete like this, and the block of quartz coming up like this, because what I also want to do is I want to knock in between these, and I want to create a solid, I actually want to create like a solid floor, because these areas here, these areas of grass, are actually going to be knocked out and made into little pool areas, which I think is really, really cool. I really like the look of it. So we're just going to knock out all of this grass here, and it's going to be made into pools. And once again, hopefully you guys are paying attention. Hopefully you guys can kind of see how this is going. This part of the tutorial is actually a little bit more free flowing. There's less numbers. It's a lot more kind of figuring out what you yourself want to get out of this house. It might be that you don't want pools here. It might be that you want grass here. You might want the entrance to be different. It's all up to you. If you want it to look nice, replace underblocks that you can see underneath of. Always important. That looks quite good. And over here as well. You can even replace the pool floors, although I'm not going to do that. And you can see that that makes the entrance look a lot grander, like that. That's actually really cool looking. I'm going to place a couple of torches just so that everybody can see a little bit better. So maybe here in this alcove, in this alcove, in this alcove, just so they're not directly visible from the front of the house. It actually lights things up perfectly. That's actually quite a lot of light. And what I also want to do is I want to create a bit of a fence, really, coming up to the actual house, like maybe on the other. No, yeah, that'll do. I want to create a little bit of a fence here. Maybe I will. I'll swap that around. So I'm going to use wooden trapdoors on the rows of quartz block that are next to the grey concrete to create a little bit of a fencey sort of area. I think that actually looks kind of cool. I've not used that as kind of like a fence decoration before, and I think that actually works quite well. Speaking of doors and stuff, on the second floor, there is also supposed to be a door to get out onto the balcony. This door, you can pretty much freestyle it. It depends what sort of door you're looking for. If you'd like to have like a sort of fancy looking door, you might want to have like 2 pillars of quartz block, leaving half a rose gap, place some quartz slab. And if you wanted to create a couple of windows left and right of that, you could create a couple of windows using some glass pane, and maybe you could even go one step further and you could even add some wooden trapdoors in the mix as well, maybe like at the bottom like this, or maybe even at the top might be better. So maybe like up at the top, like in front of the glass, because it would be kind of cool if we did have some flowers and some plant life up here. So maybe underneath the windows, if we added some poppies, or my favorite flowers are poppies, by the way. If we wanted to add poppies, or whatever your favorite flower might be, because as I just said, mine's the poppy. I like it a lot. My favorite color is red, hence my favorite Minecraft flower, other than the tulip, because they're quite cool. I like poppies a lot. I think they look quite nice. And that will create a nice sort of like fancy entrance way out onto the balcony. And what you do after that's kind of up to you. Like what I actually did, which I think is kind of cool, is I created kind of like a sea lantern fire pit. If that makes sense, which it kind of doesn't, right? But like a sea lantern fire pit, like surrounded by oak wood slabs like this, in kind of like this sort of pattern here. Maybe even I'll shrink that like this. And I just placed some sofas around the place. So like using grey concrete like this, I just created some like C shapes, some U shapes, and some just quartz stairs in here. And it creates a nice little atmosphere out here on the balcony. It looks really cool. Definitely adds to the house. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to actually fill in some of the walkways around the house. On the back of the house, you'll see that you have the like this diagonal row of quartz block. We want to add stairs in here, so we're just going to add stairs in between the quartz here that just eventually come up and add to the walkway, so like this, if that makes sense, right? And we're just going to fill in the walkway using a mixture of quartz slab in this part. And we're just going to, I mean, the entire thing could be slab, to be fair. Quartz slab going all the way around, filling this in. We also want to have quartz stairs on the front of the house too, because that, well, I mean, otherwise you can't really get up. Pretty much. Otherwise you won't be able to get up, but some quartz slab on the front of the house as well. And we do also want to add in the stairs, like I just said, so maybe here, and that should be the top. Yeah, no? Yeah, it is. So then we'll just add another row coming up like this. And then some quartz slab here and here. We'll fill any gaps in the actual inside of the house in a sec. But we just want to create this walkway that we have going on here. We just want to place our quartz slab. And the reason that we're placing slab is just to make it a bit bigger on the inside. We might have to delete some blocks when we do get in there. But I mean, you could use quartz. Just full-on quartz blocks if you wanted to, it doesn't matter. We're also going to grab the blue stained glass pane, and we're going to place a layer of blue stained glass pane, connecting all of the walkways together at the top, and also connecting the stairs down to the ground as well, just because it looks a bit better, really, is what it is. And we're just going to connect it down here, 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 and here. And just to give you a look at what that looks like from the outside, it looks like that, which looks really cool. You have two options really with the walkway. You can either fill it in with glass, which is something that I kind of wanted to do. You could fill this in with glass, or you could simply fill it in with a solid quartz base instead. I mean, you guys have seen the quartz version, so I'll tell you what, I'll fill it in with glass. Just because I want to see what it looks like myself, but you can easily fill this bit in using block of quartz. The thumbnail will have quartz, probably. Maybe, I might change it. The thumbnail will probably have quartz. The front of the start of the video will have quartz in it. But I do want to see what it looks like with the glass, because it will keep things more open. If you want a more private house, use quartz. I'm liking the glass, kinda. I want to see how it does look with the glass, because it might look silly, or I mean, it looks cool as well, but I mean, the quartz also looks good. So I mean, it's really up to you whether you want to quartz it or whether you want to glass it. Let's come inside the house for a second. So inside the house is a pretty big amount of room, as you might see. We're gonna fill up, and we're gonna do our best to fill up any gaps that we have on the inside of the house. So anywhere that we have any weird gaps, we're just gonna fill in like this. Do we have any over here? No, not really. We can seal this up using glass pane. So this can actually be sealed up using glass pane, so you can actually see like underneath the stairs, just next to the entrance, which is kind of cool. We can just add a layer of quartz slab just above this to connect like this. And then with the inside, I mean, there's a multitude of ways that you can do this. It's completely up to you with how you do the inside. You're obviously going to want to connect upstairs in some fashion, whether that's oh silly me, this part is obviously underneath the house, isn't it? Like what we want to, or underneath the stairway, what we're going to want to do is dig here. Yeah, that's much better. So then we'll be able to quartz stair it here and connect downwards, so like here, and then the next box would be here, so we can place the stairs there and there. Perfect. So we can knock through that, and then we should be able to get through to both floors, which is kind of cool. The inside I'm not doing, obviously. I never do the inside for these videos because it could take way too long. The outside's almost done, really. I mean, there's just a few things that you might want to do to make the outside look just a little bit better. From the entrance, you might want to create a pathway to where you want to, like, have a garden. You might want a big garden, you might want a small garden. I'm going to have quite a small garden, so I'm going to do a layer of grey concrete that leads to the edge of the house, and I'm going to place quartz to the left and right of the grey concrete like this. And I'm also going to dig into the ground. I want to actually use quartz blocks. And I'm going to dig around, and I'm going to connect the stairways to where the entrance of the house is going to be, or to the very least, like where the path to the entrance of the house is going to be. So I'm just going to dig out my green, and I'm going to place quartz here instead, like this. And I'm just going to place maybe like 2 quartz blocks here. And I'm just going to place a layer of blue stained glass pane on top of the actual quartz block. So this is going to create some boundaries. It's going to create a nice little bit of a garden out front like this. You can see that actually looks quite nice like this. And what I've done is I've just added a couple of trees, like here, here, and here, and here, here, and here. I've just added some trees. Is that the right place? Yeah, they're the right places. And actually, I think I added 4 trees. Did I? Or did I? I think I might have added 4. Let's add 3 instead. Let's do 3 trees. And so it's basically just an oak fence with a couple of lime concrete on top. These look like modern trees, in my opinion, and they look really cool. I really like the look of them. And then if you wanted to modernize the area even more, now this is completely up to you, you can dig out the grass, and you can place what I go on and on about this, and on and on and on and on and on and on. Fake grass is almost always an upgrade in a modern house setting. Modern houses look great, but they look better if around the modern house looks modern too. So if you add in like rows of green terracotta followed by rows of lime terracotta, and here's a little secret, by the way, guys, the house will look bigger and also better if you place the rows of grass widthways across the house. So I'll give you an example of this in a second. But this is opinion, I suppose. So you can see that we've placed the terracotta flowing with the house, right? So it's going from like the right hand side of the house to the left hand side of the house. It's a long house. But if we were to do the opposite on this side of the house, it'd look a bit weird because you're getting some short rows. So like you'd place it like this. Do you? I mean, it might be. I've literally done the same thing. I'm being a bit stupid, aren't I? But like if you placed short rows like this, it'd look a little bit weird if you kind of get my drift. Like, can you see like which one looks better? Is maybe you don't see a difference. Maybe you're not bothered, but it absolutely does make a difference to me. I think that it definitely looks better. So we're just going to follow the grass through onto this side. We're just going to place more artificial grass, more fake grass, because it does. Like I said, I don't know how many different ways and how many different times I can say the same thing, that I think the artificial grass looks better than real grass, especially when it comes to modern builds. And honestly, sometimes even like wooden rustic builds, I prefer just like fake grass. I think it looks better. I don't really like the texture of the grass block too much. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's the house. That's the house pretty much 100% made. I'm hoping that you guys have enjoyed this one. I like making modern houses. I've not made houses in quite a while, like modern houses, suburban houses, but I'm getting back into it a little bit. I'm going to try and deliver you guys a modern house, a suburban house, and a wooden house, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy those coming over the next couple of weeks. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps me out, honestly does. It makes me happy when I see that you guys like the video, so I'd appreciate that. I really would. Like the video, please. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my builds. I do all sorts of stuff. I do houses, I do cartoon houses, movie, survival, suburban, fantasy, real life stuff, you name it. Everything. Subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. Comment down below, what do you want to see next? Always into what you guys are into. I want to see what you guys want to see. Let me know down in the comments. And if you want to see any of my other stuff, any of my other houses that you may or may not have seen around my world, then please do remember to check out the card system in the description below. You can see that we're building so many different styles around here. All sorts of suburban, modern, survival, cartoon, all sorts of stuff. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next one.